Bandai and Toei make a great effort to include as many Digimon as they can, but because they've never been shackled to the idea of having to have every Digimon appear in every video game, VPET, and anime, they can afford to bring certain Digimon back while letting others rest for a while. But despite that, there seems to be some Digimon that Bandai has just completely forgotten they ever created. And so on today's video, I'm gonna list my top 10. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to prove that you are the Digidestined. And yeah, this is my personal top 10 Digimon I believe have been most forgotten by Bandai. The Digimon that inspired this was Omnimon Alter B, because I feel really bad for it. They had a set of the card game called Battle of Omni, which basically added every Omnimon variant, apart from like Merciful Mode, which later got a card, and I guess Omedamon and Omega Knight and the NX Digimon, but they don't really count as much. But Alter B just didn't get a card in the Omnimon set, which is really funny. I do also want to say I'm not going to be including things like Digicross because those are so specific to Cross Wars that it makes sense we haven't seen them since. There's going to be no like Gatai Lilithmon or anything here. And I've also kind of tried to avoid recolors. There are some recolors and variants which absolutely could be included on the list, but for example, there's a bunch of different colored versions of Shoutmon, which are just like VPET exclusive and kind of bulk the roster. And while they have been forgotten, like no one's really asking for them, you know, I can kind of tell why they've been forgotten. And I know the second I name these Digimon that have been forgotten, Bandai's gonna put them in Digimon Ghost Game or the next Dim card or something, but that's what we do here, I guess. Time after time must activate.
You can't do it! I can't. You are stressing me to hell. I can't. I'm done.
My definition of forgotten is loose, but my basic criteria are Digimon that have not had an anime appearance since at least Savers, did not show up as a medal in Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth or Hacker's Memory, or indeed have had 0 appearances since they debuted. Or might have just never debuted, like my number 2 pick. But before we get there, let's start with number 10. In at number 10, we have Master Vidramon. Master Digimon in general are a really interesting concept to me. The only other one we really have, fittingly, is Master Tyrannomon, being the perfect version both literally and metaphorically to Tyrannomon. Master Vidramon, however, is an adult, like its regular Vidramon counterpart, digivolving from Elecmon in Digimon Adventure 02, D1 Tamers, and 2 Aero Vidramon. Its egg can even only be obtained by jogressing from the evolution line of another overlooked Vidramon, Red Vidramon, with Gold Vidramon. Its sprite doesn't give us a great idea of what its unique traits are from regular Vidramon, and we haven't seen Master Vidramon since 2003 at the absolute latest with the Bandai Asia D-Spirit VPET. And so because I'm someone who is absolutely fascinated with the idea of a Bancho V or Bancho Vidramon to go alongside Bancho Stingmon existing, bringing back Master Vidramon would make absolute sense. He would fit into that Bancho Vmon line so perfectly. Also, there's a bunch of like V variants like Black X Vmon we haven't seen in Donkey's years either, so bring them all back. In at number 9 is Guidemon. Guidemon is a sort of Alice in Wonderland's White Rabbit inspired Digimon who guides Tsurugi around in net battle in the manga Digimon Next. I've always really found its design super fascinating, and I'm honestly really curious as to why it's not been seen more. It would make an excellent guide or introduction Digimon, especially in something like Digimon Adventure 2020 or Ghost Game. I even think it kind of inspired Monitormon, who had a similar function in Digimon Cross Wars. It has been almost completely ignored, and I wasn't too bothered by that until recently when in Digimon card game Set X Record, a bunch of Digimon Next characters and X Antibody Digimon got new cards, including a character called Cool Boy, who is literally only known by the name Cool Boy. But no Guidemon. Bandai has completely forgotten about Guidemon, but still remembers Cool Boy. Gnarly, dude, I'm a cool boy! Next at 8 is Agumon Black and Snow Agumon 2006 anime version, and you might initially scoff at this.
We haven't seen them since 2006 because they are the 2006 variants of the 2006 Agumon.
Shut up, you're wrong. Except 2006 Agumon has been used since. He was a collectible card in Next Order. He was the specific rookie of the Virus Busters Z Digimon Pendulum Z2 released in 2021, and even is in the currently Chinese exclusive Digimon game New Century and got a card in the Digimon card game. But yet his Black and Snow variants have not been seen since Digimon Championship on the DS back in 2008. That's 14 years. Quick maths. Kinda seems like they've been forgotten to me. For 7, I have just chosen a bunch of Digimon, including Petite Mammon, Diminimon, Callismon, Regulumon, and probably more from Digimon V-Tamer. I absolutely adored V-Tamer doing new Evos and making new Digimon, and it's just always felt weirdly like Digimon didn't want to revisit them. Petite Mammon I think would be a fantastic Bielstarmon Prevo, Diminimon a fantastic Seraphimon alternate, Callismon would be terrifying in the Bearmon line, and even a winged member of the Leomon family in Regulumon is a fun concept we haven't really seen explored since. We do get glimpses of V-Tamer references like Neo Devimon showing up in a bunch of stuff, despite literally being called Neo Devimon because it was created by Neo Cyber, or Holy Angemon Priest Mode showing up briefly during Holy Angemon's evolution to Seraphimon in Digimon Adventure 2020. We do get those other V-Tamer Digimon hinted at, but I just wish they'd commit to at least giving them reference book listings, and maybe even new anime outings. Digimon Ghost Game was created with consultation from Hiroshi Izawa and art from Tenya Yabano, the two who created V-Tamer. So I do have a lot more hope than I used to that these Digimon will no longer be forgotten, but I hope at least we'll see Petite Mammon in Ghost Game. At number 6, I have chosen Footmon because it kind of combines a few different things from different entries on this list. First off, he is a fan-created Digimon, which we'll get to in a bit. Bandai allowing Japanese kids to design new Digimon for the Digimon Cross Wars Original Digimon contest. And secondly, he has not so much as one proper anime or video game outing. He appeared in an eye catch in Cross Wars and as a card in Digimon Collectors, but aside from a reference book listing in 2016, I genuinely think Bandai forgot this dude existed. We've had soccer or football episodes of Digimon come and go without so much as a hint of this dude. And while all the other Cross Wars original design contest winners, Ikomon, Ganemon, Zenimon, Kozenimon, even Yakimon and Pillowmon have had somewhat of an outing. Soundbirdmon, Jokermon, and Ikakimon even getting episode, game, and card game representation up to this very year, while Footmon continues to be forgotten. For shame. For shame.
For shame.
And number 5 is the Grimmon line from Digimon World Dawn and Dusk. Grimmon is a form of virus that attacks the cities in these games. It can even fuse with the Chrono Core to become Chaos Grimmon before finally Exo Grimmon. I think this is such an interesting villainous Digimon, especially the ultimate level Chaos Grimmon being half and half like Dawn and Dusk or the two teams of Lightfang and Night Crow. Hardly hide nor hair has been seen of the entire Grimmon line since Dawn and Dusk in 2007, almost 15 years ago.
Quick maths.
But in 2018, Bandai did release a Digimon Story visual art book alongside Hacker's Memory, which did at least have some art and mini profiles for Grimmon and its evolutions, which cannot be said of my next pick. In at number 4 is the entire Bemon line. Quite similar to Grimmon, these are villainous Digimon that appeared back in Digimon World 3. I think probably one of the most well-known abandoned Digimon, but I just find them super unique. I also love that their evolution methods are all unique too. 3 Bemon essentially jog-resting to become Snatchmon, then Snatchmon fusing with the Gunslinger Satellite to become Ragnamon, and even the potential Gaiamon that we never actually saw, but we did get an Appmon called Gaiamon, which might be a nod? Maybe? Possibly? Also, Bemon could fuse with Juggernaut,
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
to become Destromon. None of these have had so much as a VPET or card game reference in the background since they debuted in Digimon World 3 20 years ago. My number 3 pick is Armamon, and I think Armamon might be the Digimon fewest of you have heard of because it is a Digimon completely exclusive to the Japanese exclusive games Digimon Story Super Cross Wars Red and Blue, and it looks like this. Armamon is the long-forgotten member of the Legend Arms, described as a legendary weapon Digimon and the strongest of all of them, which is equipped with the powerful galactic sword made of Barbamon's data. And how did it get that sword? Well, to quote Wikimon, after being revived in the Omega space thanks to Barbamon, it decides that the Demon Lord isn't good enough to wield its extraordinary power, so instead it eventually turns Barbamon into its own galactic sword, which, holy shit.
Oh my God, that was badass!
And hey, if you didn't think that was cool enough, by combining itself with Barbamon and something called System Omega, it can become Omega Armamon Burst Mode, and that looks like this. Omega Omega Armamon Burst Mode might be the most Digimon name for a Digimon there has ever been. This is actually the final boss of Supercross Wars Red and Blue, and that was the only time we saw Armamon or Omega Armamon Burst Mode again. As of this month, March 2022, it has been 11 years since we last saw this Digimon in its one and only appearance, its debut in those games. Bandai, I'm begging you, of all the Digimon you've forgotten, please bring back this baller-ass Digimon. My penultimate pick are the competition winner Digimon that Bandai never gave so much as official art to. I actually discussed this in another video which you can check out in the card on screen right now, but back in the day Bandai used to actually have contests where kids could design their own Digimon, with pixel V-pair art of them submitted for a chance for their design to become a real Digimon. But to this day, at least 8 Digimon designed by little kids, the biggest Digimon fans back then, never got so much as proper art. They are Beso Bombmon, which likely would have been a cute crying Bombmon, Danmon, who was named after the grade of Black Belt, so probably a karate Digimon, Earthdramon, who was supposed to be the Earth counterpart to Airdramon and Seedramon, though this may have become Cordramon over time. Huntermon, who me and Proto would probably shit talk over on the LPs on my second channel, which you can check out here or in the end card. Hunter doesn't deserve it, but we do it anyway. Hunter's like one of the nicest people we know, it's just really funny. Nikorimon, which comes from the word smile, Zombiemon, and Digimon we actually have the V-Pet sprite art for, Generamon, Technodramon, and Holy Digitamamon. I genuinely hope Bandai at least remembers Holy Digitamamon one day. I mean, we already have Devitamamon, so we need the counterpart. Okay, in at number 1, and you gotta remember this is my personal picks, is the Hyokomon line. Don't boo me, you knew this was coming! You knew this was coming! Yeah, the Hyokomon line to me feels the most egregiously forgotten by Bandai. They are a curated Digimon line, debuting in Digimon Story Lost Evolution, of Chichimon, Hyokomon, Baraimon, Butenmon, and finally Chronomon Holy Mode. And all of them haven't been seen since Supercross Wars Red and Blue. Hell, Hyokomon was even likely invented to give Chronomon a full line for future usage. Unlike Grimmon or even Armamon, these Digimon aren't villains. I can understand when a very specific villain never returns, but to see this cute rookie Digimon and its Evos, who would be fantastic contenders to join the ranks of mascot or partner Digimon, like the 3 Digimon World 3 partners, Bearmon, Monmon, and Kotemon, get no Cyber Sleuth medals, no background appearance in a single anime episode, or even a reference in the background of someone else's card. I don't know what Hyokomon and its line did to hurt you, Bandai, but you gotta let those wounds heal and please bring back my sword chicken. Do it for me, Bandai. Don't leave them forgotten. And that's my list. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this video, and let me know in the comments down below a Digimon or set of Digimon you think Bandai has completely forgotten. Or if you don't have any, let me know which of my top 10s is your favorite, especially one you maybe haven't heard of before. Huge thank you to my sovereign ZDK14, as well as everyone else who supports this channel with their hard-earned money. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye-bye.